today about SRS, about the surgery. And not the surgery as a medical fact, not as a requirement in transition, and not even the particulars about it. There's a lot of accounts out there that are well worth reading. I really want to talk about SRS as a spiritual event, as a moment really of rebirth and renewal, as a moment of magic, and in the process recount a little my own experience. I had my surgery with Shrang out in Wisconsin. I remember making the pilgrimage there. At the time it felt very much like a pilgrimage. And I was scheduled for surgery first thing Tuesday morning, and Monday night, I was in the hospital room. And the first thing they have you do is you drink this gallon of just, trust me, god-awful tasting liquid. And so you drink the gallon, and that flushes out your system. But already I was taking it on in a spiritual dimension, really seeing it not as a physical cleansing, but just trying to concentrate, to empty out everything, to create an emptiness within my being, a space that was silent and calm. And I was extremely calm. The decision for surgery was the easiest decision of all in the transition. Many more moments, much more difficult than the surgery. For me, that was the easiest of choices to make. I knew from the beginning that I wanted that. And so that was of no concern. I wasn't nervous about that. Some people get nervous about, regrets, but that never occurred to me. Anyway, so I was completely calm and empty, and I went to sleep. I remember waking up. They wake you up and they prep you. And you're placed on a gurney. And then I was in the elevator, and the elevator went down. And, even that just felt like this process of going down, for me at the time, into the earth, down below, down. And you come out into the surgery rooms. And I spoke with the anesthesiologist, and they brought me into the operating room. And it's very cold. And they keep it cold to keep it sterile. And I remember being chilled, and the blood's drained out of you, and from the cold, and it felt like preparing to die. Exactly like preparing to die. As if, it's too hard to explain, but I knew that in a few moments, my life would change. And I remember them putting on a mask, the anesthesia. And at that moment, it was like everything was quiet. I don't remember anything of sound. There must have been sound. But when I think back, it's like a silent movie. And it's like a silent movie where you're just about to jump off a cliff, just about to fall, and it goes blank. And everything went dark. And then the next moment I woke up in my room. And I remember looking up, and my current fiance, my boyfriend at the time, Alan, was there. And I remember squeezing his hand and him saying, everything went well. Everything went well. And there was a couple bouquet of flowers, one for my brother and one for my mom. And I drifted back into sleep. And, you're on this morphine drip, and everything's unreal. You sort of float in and out. It's very dreamy. and disoriented. And every surgeon has their own process, but Strang's was interesting for me. For 6 days and 6 nights, you're kept immobile. You lay completely flat in the bed, without moving, never turning on your sides, just flat. And for 6 days and 6 nights, your body's taken care of. And attendants come and they sponge down your skin. They put cream on your face, and they massage you and feed you, and all the waste is taken away. And it's very much like you're a child again. You're very much a baby again. But you're also an adult experiencing being a child again. And so it's a very, very interesting, unusual space to be in. And it was significant to me that it was 6 days and 6 nights, and you made your way through that. And on the 7th day, unbelievably, the 7th day, which has so much meaning for me. So on the 7th day, they get you up, and they have you sit up very, very gently, very carefully. And they bring your feet, and they place your feet on the floor, again gently and slowly, and your legs are weak because you haven't used them, and they try to have you stand up, and your knees buckle a little, and have to support your weight. And I remember that, and being unsteady, and very tentatively trying to walk, as if you're trying to, again, learn to walk for the first time. And they led me out of the room and to a very small shower stall that wasn't far off. And there was a chair in there, and I sat down, and they prepared the water, and they made it sure it was warm, and there was soap and shampoo. And even though, my body had been sponge bath, I hadn't washed in a week, and I remember the water coming down and feeling it on my body, and feeling it going over my breasts, and feel it washing down across my new sex. And I remember the water, it was the most incredible sensual moment. And I remember looking up at the water and it hitting my face and running down my hair. And all the energy of that moment just draining out of your body. Everything. And you're emptied. Again, you're emptied. And all of that is washed away. And you feel reborn. And it feels like miracle. And it feels like magic. And it's the most stunning. For me, it was the most stunning emotions I had ever in my life. And I just remember thinking, oh my Lord, this is real. Oh my God, this is real. This is real. And they led me back very slowly back to bed. And very slowly you get into bed and carefully you lay down, you put your head back on the pillow and the sheets drawn back over you. Oh, and you just drift into sleep. It was the sweetest sleep of my life. I can't tell you how important that process was for me. That sense of being born, that sense of spiritual awakening was very real. It was as real as anyone else's religious moment. And for me, it was almost a religious moment. Anyway, I wanted to share it with you.